What's good? It's Casper. Today's video, I'm going to be talking about the movie Air. So the movie Air is a 2023 film. It's rated R and it's an hour and 51 minutes. Directed by Ben Affleck. I should have watched it when it came out. Very excited to go see it when I saw how the trailer was, and the fact that I haven't seen it is very disappointing in my eyes. Really glad that I finally got to it. Really cool to see that there's chemistry. Really cool to see that the homies working with each other. And not only that, with this movie topic in general, you can see that they're actually fans and actually real understanding of what they're trying to put out. In this cast, I would describe it as an all-star cast. You have Matt Damon, Jason Bateman, obviously Ben Affleck doing his thing as acting and directing in this movie, which very cool thing that he's able to do. Could only imagine how much fun he had in this movie, especially with this being a sports related movie. We got Viola Davis in here. We also have Chris Tucker, which is very rare to see him in any movie these days. Marlon Wayans have a little spot in this movie. Before explaining this movie, to know that a lot of these people that you're seeing on screen is a really cool introduction to know what part they had into this process of the Air Jordan shoe. This movie's about the people at Nike end up doing a partnership with Michael Jordan, and basically it being the signature shoe that we see now. So we're seeing the startup of how the idea happened, where the idea came for the Air Jordan shoe. Based in the year 1984, a lot of stuff that's happening in Nike's world where they're just not looking good in the basketball world. None of their style or swag is connecting to the audience, so they need that push and they need that person to basically represent their squad, Nike. We're seeing the beginning steps of how the creative sides, the CEO, the other people in charge of marketing and other stuff responsible at Nike, how they're trying to come up with getting an athlete that can be their signature cover athlete for their Nike company. Seeing how the shoe gets designed and how they work around the small little ideas of making the shoe around Jordan. And then we're seeing also the business side of how Nike's handling trying to get involved with Jordan and taking such a risk like that. Nike is in pursuit of getting Jordan on their team before Adidas or Converse ends up signing them. A lot of interesting facts, especially the fact that Jordan was leaning towards Adidas. That's what the movie is about, the startup of the Air Jordan Nike shoe. I really like how we went right into Matt Damon's character, and I didn't know anybody from Nike's starting up team, so really cool to know that Matt Damon was playing the character Sonny Vaccaro. A lot of really cool facts and a lot of stuff that they're presenting in here to kind of give you a straight understanding on just day-by-day process of working at Nike, and a lot of stress and responsibilities a lot of people have, even with the CEO at Nike. But the whole style of it being in the 80s and then seeing the styles of these actors, their costume design, even the offices of where they're working at, seeing the offices of Adidas and Converse, I thought a lot of those things were more interesting than knowing who these people who were responsible in my eyes, but didn't do the research after watching this movie to know who these people were. I thought the movie did, just entertainment wise, just good enough to be like, I'm satisfied of knowing what happened on screen. And then reading some facts after it, just knowing that Ben Affleck did do his due diligence on reaching out to Jordan and a lot of people actually responsible during that process of this movie. But going back to Matt Damon playing Sonny Vaccaro, I really enjoyed his performance in this movie. I really like how mentally you could see that he's really putting out a real scout in a business like Nike, and I like the lines for him that every scenario that he was in kind of showed his level of his living situation, especially at a Nike company where it's trying to get its startup. Matt Damon in this whole movie, very awesome to see. Matt Damon in this more older look and holding that responsibility at Nike. It was just a lot of eye-catching things to see, showing that he can do really good job in any style of movie. His acting was phenomenal in this movie as well. Being that person that's looking for that person to sign at Nike, a lot of the screen time he had for fans who don't know this story to actually tag along and be very interested. Matt Damon showed a lot of cool, interesting emotions while being in this spot. Him working in the office real quick, I think it was just the movie set in general, how it looked, but when I saw how the office looked, it kind of reminded me of the TV show The Office. But besides that, the whole environment looked cool. I thought Matt Damon's costume design to show the style of Nike at that time, I thought that was really cool to see. The parking lot, then pulling up, knowing what area it was at. I think they did a really good job on just showing that in-time moment. The fact that Matt Damon had a lot of screen time, I thought it just presented really well with that era. They worked on some film to show that authenticness of, that era. So I really appreciated that, you have one of your best friends, Ben Affleck, like working with you. So I know Matt Damon in this movie was basically taken care of and understood how to put out this performance. Jason Bateman plays Rob Strasser in this movie. He had an interesting role as well. The lines for him actually represented a lot of the stuff that this Nike company was dealing with, and I thought with his look, you could see how much of these people are just running around the office just trying to make something happen before it all falls down. I thought Jason Bateman did a phenomenal job in his acting in this movie, especially putting out a performance as Rob Strasser. His screen time did represent that side of the team. Ben Affleck playing the CEO of Nike, Phil Knight, did not know who the CEO was. I will say Ben Affleck did a great job as the CEO. The whole time watching his performance just gave me like, let me just chill, let me just put out this CEO vibes. There's some moments in this movie where his lines were pretty funny. Him getting the news that they're trying to get Michael Jordan on Nike. I thought that was great. And then mixed with the real facts that happened, very cool blend. Very funny, adventurous ride that as a sports fan you actually want to see. An awesome performance, great acting. Another movie from Ben Affleck where I just applaud, especially handling so much of responsibilities everywhere. Acting, directing. Very cool to see that. The costume design was great. Imagine being able to sit at a table with him and talk about, we're going to do this movie about Michael Jordan and how Nike was trying to get him. So I can only imagine the talks with Ben Affleck. It makes me sad that he had to deal with J-Lo and he had to deal with that drama stuff. But overall, it's just like Ben Affleck being in the movie like this really shows that he is a sports fan and actually does his research and respects the vision and respects that this history was a really key moment in the sports world. I give props to Ben Affleck in this movie as well. He didn't show Michael Jordan at all in this movie. And what I mean by that is you don't see Michael Jordan's face, you see the back of his head, you just see angles where it kind of just shows that Jordan is in the room, especially with the other actors. The Jordan family being in meetings, you know Michael Jordan is in there as well. It's very respectful for Jordan because there isn't many actors, in my opinion, that could put out a performance where you're looking at him as like, oh, he did a good job as Jordan. You just like the excitement of the movie. You like the fact that, Jordan is in the building. Chris Tucker is in this movie and he plays Howard White. He had a very important role in getting Jordan onto Nike as well. So 1, really cool to see Chris Tucker in this movie. 2, his acting was great. 3, really awesome to see that he still has that funny uniqueness to his acting and it just stands out in general. Him performing as Howard White was straight to the point, straight understanding what position, what role he had, and the lines were great. Nothing in this performance where it was just taken away from the movie or it was just something that he was just trying to be too funny. Naturally handled it like a boss. There's a character in the process of building the shoe, the designer, Peter Moore. He's played by Matthew Mayer. I honestly like that performance because it was a side where you actually want to see the in-depth detail of how the shoe got made. There's a part in this movie where you see a lot of the early steps of designing the shoe. Matthew Mayer, a key moment in this movie that as a sports fan I really enjoyed that, so I think you'll like his section in the movie as well. Marlon Wayans plays the character George Raveling. That was a really cool moment to see as well, just to basically see some fly on the wall moment, especially with George talking to Sonny. That scene was cool and really cool to see Marlon Wayans in this movie. It fit the movie vibe and it was an appreciative role for me, so I liked it. My standout in this movie was definitely Viola Davis playing Michael Jordan's mom, Dolores Jordan. Husband James Jordan is in this movie. He's played by Julius Tannen. Viola Davis was my standout. Her performance in this movie was very strong. You could see how much love and dedication the real Jordan mom had probably during that time with Viola Davis' performance. It's on point. I honestly was shocked every time to just see her say anything in this movie. A lot of stuff is going through her mind of like, wow, Jordan's mom was not playing around. Overall, Viola Davis, when she's on screen, you're just like, wow, that performance is very strong. This movie did a really good job for sports fans to show a lot of cool things that they wouldn't see. Definitely a movie that puts you in a time machine. Feel like they could have added a little bit more. The only thing I would add was just basically the days after Jordan finally got signed with Nike and the response the audience got. But there is credits on showing what happened with the shoe the first year. You're seeing real footage and you're seeing a lot of stuff on basically how successful Nike got with just the Jordan brand in general. The soundtrack in this movie made this movie flow really cool and kind of gave it that heart racing feel of you starting the game. They have really cool music in here, especially the Michael Jordan theme song when he was on on the Bulls. They will play starting lineup intro music, and that's in this movie. But good flow with the music, good choices. I absolutely enjoyed it. After my watching the movie Air, out of 10, I'm gonna have to give this movie a 9 out of 10. That's my movie review for the movie Air. Shout out to you guys for tuning into the video. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace, y'all.